And now we're live everywhere else. Welcome back, everyone. It is episode 49. You know, and if I didn't take a day off, I realised you would have been the 50th one. I'm so sorry. I dropped the ball on that one. Next time we do 50 shows in a row, I'll make sure never to take a day off and have you on the 50th. We can do number 100.
Balloons.
Yeah.
Tape.
Guys, happy Friday. Mate, happy Friday. We've got a beer. Would you like some wine?
Yeah, why not?
We've got these. Actually, this is pretty cool. This is still weird. I mean, they're already open. We got them from today, but we didn't actually jump into them. Some of these are actually pretty fun. Everyone, we have Josh Picken, Josh Picken, back today. Everyone's favourite sommelier. Ooh, this will be fun.
Blind straight up.
Yeah. Blind straight. Well, yeah. I mean, I actually forget what we bought, so I don't even know what these are.
You don't have a vague idea.
I have a vague idea. I know it's not from a couple of states. How was your weekend? Actually, how's your weekend gonna be, and how was your Friday? What did you guys get up to? And I should have to say, Justin is back in again. Mate, he can't be stopped. He can't be stopped. Sam Lega Lamb, Kerry Carter, Christina Griffiths, Happy Friday, Bronwyn Star, Yuko, Lockie George, JJP is back in the house. That's right. Terry, chiming in on time. You must be off work. Stephen Harris, oh man, you guys are fantastic. Just finished week 8 working from home. Jicky, how's that going for you? What are you guys drinking? What's in your glasses? And if you're on the waters, that's totally fine. How was your week?
Good. Yeah, actually, super busy. Lots going on.
Plenty going on.
Some I probably can't talk about.
Well, no, you talk about anything here. I don't care. But you were saying last time you were on the show, you were just getting into the COVID lifestyle. Yeah,
I actually really like it. There's no traffic.
It's funny because we're in Adelaide, and I mean traffic's like a relative thing, right? But you know that you're really sort of Adelaidean when you get pissed off at the Adelaide traffic. And the fact you've got
But like, I think the tide's turning though, because even today, like I just went out and it was packed. Like
shops were.
I
was quite surprised actually, even our local shop here, there's not a lot of people up here in town, but I tell you what, I totally agree with you.
And restrictions lifting now, some. So,
great news,
yeah, you can,
great news.
Go to a cafe and sit outside, but you can't drink alcohol.
You can't drink alcohol.
Yeah.
And then I was just thinking, it was like, oh great, places like Lee Street Wine Room, favourite places. I'm like, yeah, but the 4 square metre thing applies. They have two places out.
Yeah, they're scared you'll get too drunk and forget the rules. You forget to wash your hands.
I think that's certainly a part of it. I think
police commissioner said that. Oh god, come on.
Dude, was it the South Australian Police Commissioner?
Yeah.
Anyway,
we're
I'm sure there's a good point.
We're doing a lot better than other states, so that's good.
Well, yeah, until old mate English fella decided to. Is that what happened?
Well, he's been in the States for 7 weeks, and he left the UK testing negative, and apparently he tested positive on Wednesday. A 7-week incubation period.
Yeah, right.
It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, that doesn't compute. Picken is back in. That's right, Sean. Thanks for chiming in. Jimmy B.
Yeah.
2,500 litres of rosé. What's getting pumped and drunk? Winery life. That's totally fair.
That's really good. That wine.
This is actually fun. Yeah. So what do you reckon of this? This is it's lean, clean fighting machine.
Yeah,
actually.
I think it looks quite like Chardonnay. I'd say because the like almost nectarine. Stone fruit thing, but very pulled back, very tight. Super lean. For a moment I thought it was Fiano, but seeing these drinking more Fiano lately, and I can starting to see.
We got him.
Yeah.
No, but you've been making a Fiano.
Yeah, and obviously Amanda brings a few Unicos home.
There's plenty of Fiano.
So I was a bit like, I don't know about this, but now from what I'm seeing, it's definitely a varietal character. So.
With this one.
However, that actually, I cracked the Da Vinci Code during the week. Remember last time we were looking at Fiano, what to match it with?
Legit.
I cracked it. These babies. Yeah.
Oh, dude, let's do it. Oh man. I mean, that is. I'm not sure. Yeah. Okay, so is it junk food wine at that level? Yeah. Or is this? It's just like we smash this all the time.
We were like having.
These are fantastic.
Yeah, we were having a cheese board and we had these on the side. And
there's something about them. Should we get some? You reckon it was river sand? What? Oh yeah, lean, clean fighting machine. We should have some.
And then our dear friends at Pasadena, of course, they stock these.
Oh sweet, let's give these. What is it? I'll give you guys. It is anchovies and olive oil, and it's these particular ones as well.
Oh no,
Or is it
we
just-
were eating cheap, like the cheap ones.
Just in general.
I love
Just in general.
anchovies.
We're gonna get some focus going on
You
here.
buy like a jar, you think it's like a huge jar of anchovies, and you crack it open, and they're all stuck to the edge. There's nothing inside. But these are quite famous, I guess, in Ortez. So they're
Some little. Oh, sorry, no, it's not.
no, it's
Noah's just being like an absolute boss right now, running around grabbing his utensils. I really want to try this. But in terms of this wine, I reckon it's actually pretty delicious, it's pretty lean, it's pretty fun. It's definitely Chardonnay.
Yeah.
It's definitely Chardonnay.
yeah, it's very good.
So I mean, Noah doesn't know what's in here either. So I think we're just going to power move the whole lot.
Yeah,
I think it's time. We're gonna try and power move this.
I like that. That's cool.
Apparently this is like Joe Rogan and Wayne's World, all rolled into one.
I'm just using my
Chardonnay.
hands.
Where do you reckon it's from? Do you reckon?
Oh,
Oh wow!
it's Hills.
You
I've
did it
just-
legit,
I've just got
bro.
my hand.
Yeah, we had a cellar door that we could open once upon a time.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
That's good, actually. Damn. Oh, do we need to open up?
Oh, really? Oh,
With sticky hands.
did you wanna? You gonna jab it?
Where's Jack?
It's
I've heard my
memories.
name used a few times.
You didn't mention it.
Honestly, still to this day, it seems to be the funnest way to open wine. I did indeed myself decide. This is where the Facebook tile happens.
Oh yeah. It's getting
Right down the barrel of the camera.
I just
Right down the barrel
stare,
of the
just
camera.
stare. This is it's very, very, very quickly. I think you need to do it quickly. I think there's a speed thing to it. I think
gentle.
it's definitely. Oh yeah, it's coming. Oh, keep going, Josh. Just keep going. You can do this. We believe in you.
Miller's concerned.
Miller's concerned.
Oh, Jesus!
I know what I was doing. I was holding the.
I was holding it down. Oh no. Oh no.
Sparkling.
It is. Sparkling. Jancis Robin is also doing junk food and wine matching on a website. You were being copied.
Oh, copy.
Oh, you know, what is it? The
Jans.
sincerest form of flattery
Yeah,
or
nah.
something like that. You know, I like to think we started a thing, you know, together.
Yeah, Johns. Yeah.
What's
No one's
that?
ever heard of her.
What was that? Remember the T-shirt ages ago? It was like Tara Sakota, never heard of her. Yeah, I don't know who this Jancis person is. So I'm terribly sorry, but I mean, definitely, I don't think they're as cool as we are. But if we're very interested, we should, you know, if they're doing similar stuff to what we're doing, then we should send them this
Yeah.
and get their thoughts on
Johns is using that. I would pay to watch that.
Sure, people would have paid to watch that before. First, I've got to try this match because it's just. Yeah, I reckon
What?
That's top tier.
that is neck level. That is next. So it's the salt. It's the salt and the oil together.
Yeah, so good.
It almost mimics the palate shape of Fiano
Do
as
we
well.
have salt and vinegar chips or something?
Samboy. Samboy. We had Samboy. Samboy was absolutely fantastic. We really, I pretty much know it. Did you want to have a crack at these?
Get in there.
These
These is actually.
It's actually really cool.
Ladderboard
match.
too.
There's two chovies left.
They're
two
like
choves,
18
choves.
bucks a tin, by the way.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Terry Rawson, not a fan of the anchovy.
Yeah.
But mate, I've been meaning to ask you something
Okay.
for a while. Now you've been on the show for a little while. This will be your third
Yeah,
crack.
third,
And I think we're 3 for 3 on the little jab and jerk
Yeah.
machine over here. Can I ask you some questions that are just vexing me about restaurants?
Okay.
Through it.
Please.
If you, obviously you're working in a fine dining restaurant.
Yeah.
I'm sure you guys at home are wondering about this sort of stuff as well. And if you're not, then it's definitely just me. And you've got how many seats? How many seats will most fine dining restaurants have? Right?
In South Australia, you'd be lucky to push over 50.
50. And in terms of like what they would say, like covers per se isn't so much seats, but it's like the amount of sittings,
it's
right?
it's one seating normally, because the degustation can take 3 to 4 hours. And if people are paying that money, they don't want to be like pushed out. You don't want to turn tables.
No, absolutely not.
In other states, like I've done stagiaires in Sydney, and they'll do 300 covers.
Yeah, right.
So you'll get, but they'll do a service from say like Aria or one of the Rock Pool. They'll do from 5:30 to 10:30.
Yep.
Where SA, we're a bit early to go to bed or something. So
we're a bit early to go to bed here. That's what I did notice moving down here.
That's what I loved about like going to the States, like New York. You call a restaurant, we've only got 10:30 p.m. available. Perfect. So I want to eat. So, yeah.
So if you've got 50 seats, you don't
Yeah.
want to push people on, or
Yeah.
maybe even less than that, and you've got the whole restaurant's booked out.
Yeah.
And one of the guests rocked up, and he's wearing Canterbury's and a blue singlet and pluggers. What happens? How do you deal with that?
Look, it is hard.
Do you turn away? Is there such thing as dress codes in fine dining?
There is.
Have you ever had to enforce it?
Yeah, I have. Well, I haven't, but that's been a SOM. You can kind of just handball it to the restaurant manager. Sorry, I've got to try these wines. Actually, he's been on the show. Aaron Fenwick is the guy.
Aaron Fenwick.
So we're working in this restaurant, and this restaurant we worked at, I don't know if we'll name names, you could see everything because it's just a glass box. So you could see the customers coming before they'd actually come to the door.
Yeah,
and
right.
this guy's hobbling up, and he's huge. And he was wearing like a singlet and shorts, like really short shorts and flip-flops.
Literally what I described before.
Yeah.
Canterbury, singlet and pluggers. Great.
And where we worked, it was like, the pinnacle of Adelaide, I guess, at the time. And, everyone would wear, like all the staff would wear suits and the customers would dress up because it's the night out.
Yeah, exactly.
And Aaron told him that he can't come in. And, it was so awkward.
Did he raise hell?
A little bit. He was very polite at it. And the emails and the backlash from them, and TripAdvisor reviews, and
Is it because it might degrade the experience for the other customers as well? Is it a genuine concern over that, or is it like setting a standard?
It was kind of trying to set a standard. We weren't doing it just to be dicks. He did look pretty horrible.
Jesus.
I
love how honest you are.
But I've worked in other venues where, customers, and you can kind of judge them. And, I hate young front of house staff that do judge people from what they're wearing. And I've had a guy come in and he looked like shit. He'd been on the beach all day and he's leaving sandal in the restaurant. And
he could have been running late. Maybe it was like a once in a lifetime booking.
And that was the biggest bill I've ever had in my life. Like he dropped tens of thousands and tipped 15% on that.
So on sometimes you just can't judge a book by its cover. You have to be you have to be sort of pretty.
Yeah, he was just like, I'll have a bottle of this, and I was like, okay, sure,
all right. So flipping it around, someone comes into the restaurant. It's like young couple, don't know much about wine. Don't know much about food, but they just really want, they've read the reviews.
Yeah.
They want to show each other a great night out. And, you've got your shown them bottles on bottles and a few other things. And they've decided to sort of, hey, look, we don't do this all the time. So we're gonna give this a bit of a nudge. How does that translate when you give them the bill? What happens when they go, oh man, I didn't realize it was that much per glass?
It can wreck everything. Like you might have, and fine dining, because it's a slower service and you're quite engaged with a customer for so long, you kind of build this relationship. And you can tell when you drop the bill, it does go a bit south. They kind of go, their body language changes and they just try and get the hell out of there.
But what have you ever had someone just not be able to afford it? Go like, bro, I didn't think it was that much, and I just don't have the money. What happens when someone doesn't have the money?
I've had one occasion where his card was declined, and one of the waitresses knew him and was like, "This guy doesn't have any money. Like I don't even know why he's here. That looks like a stolen credit card," and it was so bloody awkward.
It was dodgy, super dodgy.
Or people just, I don't know, they sort it out amongst themselves, but you can tell, like, it can go south, but you cannot say to a customer, like, oh, that's $90 a glass. That's like the biggest no-no. You just can't.
Oh, as in like, what do they call it? What was it? Was it Pretty Woman? Was that what it was? That movie? With like, I'm sorry, but you know, this is just, yeah. It's like, it's like, you know, it's like you know, this place is too much for you.
Yeah,
like, you would
that's
never,
right,
ever,
actually,
ever do that.
Yeah,
like,
it's and like when I was a young buck in the game, I think I did that, and it's bad, and it's happened to me recently too, where
Really?
because like I like to drink well, and oh, you know,
Don't we all?
Yeah, like it's like hurry up.
That's cool. So in terms of like greatest mistakes you've had, and you can't become good without having a ton of mistakes, right?
And I think with SOMs, there's definitely a stigma with if you're struggling with a wine list and a SOM comes and goes, "Do you need some help?"
Yeah.
They're a bit scared that you're just going to take the piss and recommend the most expensive one. Now,
because that was my reaction first when I first met a SOM. That was my initial reaction. Was like your sole purpose is to extract more money out of me.
Yeah, you can, but you got you can't take the piss, really. I really try and or you can start light and then work up. But you know what I used to say to my guests is, look, this is the wine pairing. It's $190 per person. It's a fair chunk of money. There's 5 of you. That's a lot of money. Let me spend the same money on bottles for you. And then, you know, you look at it that way, you're going to see some big brand energy and
big label energy going on. So it's interesting because today's restrictions that they actually announced, no booze. And straight away we all looked at that and we're just like, well, that means that most restaurants aren't going to open because how do you pay a full sort of restaurant staff?
Yeah, it's tricky.
With no booze, because obviously the amount of money that a restaurant makes on its food and the amount of money it tends to make on its food are like so distinct, so different.
Yeah. And I think fine dining doesn't get a fair look at with the whole restrictions, because every kitchen and front of house practice I've worked in at that level is so Mickey Mouse clean. It's such a tight operation, you know, no one's ever going to get sick. We used to take great offence to people saying they've been food poisoned. You know, maybe it was the 2 bottles of wine you drunk at lunch was bloody spewed. You know? Or
we quite often have that with people like, you know, oh look, you know, the sulfur did it to me. I'm like, you smashed like 3 or 4 bottles of wine in a matter of 2 hours between two of you.
Fell asleep with the electric blanket on.
That's okay, that was really specific, Josh. It's like there's definitely some PTSD involved in that comment. So Nicole Thorpe, thanks so much for chiming in, Nicole.
Hi, Nicole.
Hi Josh, hi BC, sitting watching with a friend drinking Applewood gins. Awesome, thank you so much. Here's a junk food and wine match for you. Burnt choc chip cookies and Riverland Shiraz. Why are they burnt, Terry?
I've got some in the car. Not Riverland Shiraz, but cookies.
Why are they burnt? Is burnt choc chip cookies a thing?
Well, you just leave it in the oven. Cole's at Marion burned the hell out of that.
Burn the cookies. Burnt the cookies watching the show. Well, we created that. Wonderful experience for you. Jason Meyer, even though it's realistic to say the SOM is there to get more out of the customer, but as a customer personally, I know that the SOM knows much more than I, that's why I ask.
Yeah, that's good.
And it is actually, so do you think that, you know, because one of the big things that we're really passionate about is it's been overused terms like pivoting and innovative and unprecedented, but another really sort of a big one is democratization. You know, democratize wine. You know, make sort of, and indeed we say wine for the people, but try, you know, do you think the either bureaucratic system or how confusing wine has become requires a somm to be able to
definitely,
almost like
to some
decipher
extent,
the whole thing.
I think the most common one I would get is, they want one bottle and you're doing a deg and you've got so many courses, and I'm just like looking for that bottle that's going to go with everything. And then like, I'm like, well, look,
just simplify.
There's no magic,
so you're offering simplicity, convenience,
but you're going to help them. You're going to get the least worst.
Yeah.
Look, to be completely honest, sometimes like with wine pairing, obviously the wines absolutely work with the dishes, and I'll go anywhere to find that. And there are parameters with cost, so sometimes it just really depends on how the dice have been rolled or how that cookie's crumbled that week. Some wines might be better than others in terms of monetary value or status. So sometimes, if you're looking for like huge value in wine pairing, you might not get it, like in terms of money value, but you're going to get a better food and wine experience. So some people are really savvy. Like they're looking at the wine list and they're looking at how many pairing wines, and they're doing the math, going, well, I could buy 2 bottles of wine versus 7 glasses, and it's like you can see them doing it, and you're like, oh.
So at what point does it tip over the edge for you? And this is also because we've also got other wine lovers here. I want to know for you guys as well, seriously, like no Amanda, like when it stops becoming a mathematical equation. Like when, because we've all done this before, and I'm sure you guys have done this before, you've jumped into the restaurant, the first thing you do is you look at the fucking wine list, and you don't even worry about what you're eating that night, and you're perusing through it. Because for us, like that's a huge part of our experience when we go out is the wine that we're drinking, because we're massive wine enthusiasts.
Yeah, exactly.
The food is more like nourishment to keep us going.
I can see
in
that.
A lot of things.
And the girlfriend's there, and she's like, and he's like, look, and I'll just go over and I'll be like so informal to break down those barriers of being somm. Yeah. And then I'll say, look, you're just gonna spend all night in the wine list. Look, let me just do it. Look,
spend all night like talking to each other.
That's why you're here.
That's why you're here. Yeah.
Like, what do you want to try? Do you want to go, a bit alternative, or do you want your classic? Do you want Pinot from Ortago, or what do you want to drink?
Try. So one of those things that I think like the somm offers obviously clarity over what's on the list, and in an ideal world will heighten the dining experience entirely. But offers simplicity and convenience. Of kind of going, look, this whole thing is going to take you ages to navigate through.
I used to joke with my staff that I was a bit like an FBI profiler, and he'd profile with me. And they're like,
that's so good.
Like murder scene, she's like, killed by a 21-year-old female. But you kind of like you profile like my stuff. Be like, oh, they want this. Like, no, they don't. Like, where the hell did you?
So analysing the blood splatter. Was it clearly
actually
from this direction?
I sound like an absolute dick, and people that know me know I can be.
But you're not.
You can absolutely
you just sound like
almost profile people.
Yeah. Well, and that's it. I mean, you only have in the. I'm going to call it, and forgive me if this is like a really terrible way to describe it, but the theatre of fine dining, the theatre of
absolutely.
hospitality.
Like I use the decanters. And
you showed me the first time. I remember you served me with the
Eve.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Eve. If you guys have ever seen, it's the most outrageously expensive wine decanter. So we've got the most cute dog here. Like seriously, it's like a gigantic teddy bear. And the spin thing. See, I always just thought it was a decanter, but I didn't realise that there was like a theatre to serving wine out of it.
Yeah, people love it. It's more photos.
But you only have a very narrow amount of time to be able to, it's not like you can sit down with people or like when they come to your restaurant. And there have been restaurants that I've gone to, they ask for everything from you.
Or, I've met customers and they've invited me to their weddings, and friendships have been found through customers, and there's a lot of people that I'm still friends with now who were just literally diners in our restaurant. So really.
Well, I mean,
cool.
I can
Really
attest
cool.
to it. Even just this process that
Yeah.
we've gone through the last 50 days
Yeah.
of live streaming. I even heard today that, and I know who I'm talking to, right? Well, I kind of don't, but I literally don't. But you know who you are. Apparently, there's like a private Facebook group that's arisen out of
You got
this.
some fans.
I've got there's like some there's evidently one because we've got the most amazing sort of birthday video, but apparently there's still continuing discourse that's occurring in this group, which I'm not a part of, by the way. But no, it's amazing to be able to say like a lot of these people like are either visiting each other if they can, if they're in the same state,
great. That's
or
awesome.
keeping in touch
Love
with each
that.
other. And if that's obviously building a bit of a community, but a lot of these other people, I'm like, yes, I mean if you have been drinking with me through a screen for 50 days, I will drink with you any day of the week. Like now like I've got drinking buddies all over the country. Some in other countries as well. But it is amazing to be able to
That's cool.
obviously say that like through even the restaurant trade, a lot of your customers have since become really good mates.
It is.
So how did you meet Aaron? Because I know you and Aaron are besties.
I remember Aaron at McGill Estate. I remember his first service, and he. I looked out the glass window. I saw him walking up, and this is no shit. If you know Aaron, he had a singlet on, and he had like a gold chain, hair, and he had a chipped tooth.
Oh man, do we have photos of this? Because that is just
Because he
too
was
good.
saying when he came on that people used to think like he looked about 35 when he was like 21.
Yeah, no, he did.
And
No, seriously.
I was
Yeah, he
like
did say that.
a lot
Yeah.
I'm thinking I'm 5-6 years older than Aaron, and people thought I was about 15.
Wait, backtrack. Did you just say that?
Yeah.
Oh wow, no, because we ascertained that Aaron was only a year older than me.
But it
No,
was
once
the
you hit a
hardest-
certain age, it's all bets are off. Like everyone's the same age, in my opinion.
Yeah.
They're all my age.
And he was one of the hardest working people I've ever worked with, and he was obviously doing the cordon bleu stuff. But yeah, he was just there was so much pretense at that level of dining, and it was a very clicky crew. But he just worked. I remember everyone was like really intense, and he just said this joke. He goes to me, "Pleasure, discipline," and the whole restaurant just laughed. And then he was like one of the team. And,
Yeah, right.
and yeah, I left and took another job. And Aaron stayed on and just worked his way up. And then this chef came on board. A few people know around town. And they called me up and said, "We need a som. We can't get a som. Do you want to come back?" And I said, "Well, make me an offer I can't refuse." So yeah, but yeah, we've been friends since 2009 and did a lot of travel. So travel around Europe and America, just eating.
So is it eating that fuels you, or drinking?
Nah, eating, definitely.
It's definitely
so
food
we
first.
always do food and wine pairing. Not always. Like I'll buy bottles because I know what I want to drink, or like I'll pluck. So it's like being a bookie. You look at wine lists, you find
Yeah.
hidden gems. I'm like, oh shit, I can't even buy that retail for that price.
Happens to us in Hong Kong all the time.
Yeah, Hong Kong.
Yeah,
you drink
Hong
well
Kong's-
there.
You have a lot of fun there.
But yeah, you just.
Yeah.
So we always get at least one wine pairing.
Yeah.
Just to try with the food and see what Som's doing. And you see wine trends in countries as well. Or like you put something on and then 2 weeks later every restaurant's pouring it. So you see the trends.
Do you know, it's really interesting talking about like trends within countries.
Yeah.
And we were
Huge.
exposed to an amazing one that just kind of blew our mind. We were lucky enough to be able to send some wine to New Zealand.
Yeah.
And we were always passionate, still are. Like if we're going to send wine to a place, we're going to physically go there. We want to understand how they drink, how they eat, the culture. We're travelers as well. I think if you're
I love that.
Epicureans, if you're into
It's
food,
great.
we're going to go. No matter how much wine you buy, we're going to go. And we went there, and we went through all the sort of main cities, and I was so incredibly surprised. Firstly, and what year was this, Lord? 2015? Yeah, 2015. Natural wine.
Yeah.
Not a thing.
Yeah.
Not even a thing.
Yeah.
In fact, we launched there a week prior to what I would
Yeah.
call the OGs of the Basket Range.
Yeah.
But you know what was a big thing? Cabernet.
Yeah.
Lots and lots of Cabernet.
Yeah, Cabernet.
And we were like, you
Yeah.
know, come in and it's like, you know, the
Pinot
Shiraz
Noir Cab.
section, and that pumped. But then it's Cabernet. We just really freaking love Pinot Noir Cabernet. It's like, oh, that's where it all goes. I always
Yeah.
wondered where it went. It goes to New Zealand. But it's interesting because they are, you know, I would argue they're the closest, of course, to culturally to, and there is a cultural difference, and that's what I discovered over there. But obviously, in terms of language, in terms of age of country, in terms of political system, and it's almost like you can jump off the plane there and you're like, oh, I'm pretty much still kind of in Australia. It's like very, very close.
Absolutely.
But when you finally get down to the nitty gritty, go into a bottle shop, and it looks like a normal bottle shop because
so
you go to a wine store in America, it's very different. It looks like you go get stabbed,
Oh.
or you go to a wine store in Europe, and it's the most beautiful place ever. In fact, we got married in one. You know, but you go to a wine store here, and it's a very particular aesthetic, New Zealand aesthetic.
Yeah.
But everything
like a
inside
record
was
store.
different. It was like stepping into another like alternate universe. It was weird
Yeah,
for
I
me.
never thought about that in New Zealand. Well, it's like I remember one trip to Europe, and if you're in Sweden and Copenhagen, it's you're drinking Skinsy whites and natural wines, and then I stepped over to Austria, and I asked for one. Oh no, you don't sell that here. Like really, like offended that about zero sulfur wines, and it was quite interesting.
Yeah, that's Austria.
Yeah, everything was very, beige and grey. And then we went into the UK, and this is one trip. Everyone's drinking Rioja and big tannic reds. I was like, oh, boring. Came back the next year, they're all on the Skinsy.
Skinsy
Yeah,
stuff.
like, on the natty wines, even in the gastropubs.
Well, watching America's thirst for natural wine has been utterly amazing because when we went there, we really had to we were super, super niche and everyone else super, super niche. No one even heard of it. And then suddenly they heard of it and suddenly everyone had it.
Yeah.
It was so quick. It's so amazing how things catch on. Hopefully not COVID. Firstly, before we can continue on, we've got a couple of really cool questions. And firstly, Greta Wellstad, the 41-year-old accountant. But you've brought a wine, haven't you? Brought a wine for a bit of blind tasting.
Yeah, I thought we'd bring some bin juice.
Because it is time for that the particular time blind tasting. We're getting better with it. We're getting better. Yeah, that's. Do you know? So we were thinking about oh man, we should call this something different. We should call it what we're going to call it, Wine Squad. No, or something like that. And seriously, no. And Laura's like, "Why? No, it's different." So I googled it. I was like, "Has anyone else done a show?" There's a show called Wine Squad that was killed.
Dear.
I think it only lasted one season. And of course, if anyone could screw up Australia, any television show, it was Australians. We as a populace created. Okay, I'm gonna let this sink in for a little bit. You can Google it. Seriously, Google it. Look at the YouTube video. There is something called Wine Squad. Big blind mic. They got blind people to taste wine. Legitimate blind people to taste wine. It's so wrong.
That's not PC.
It's not PC at all. That would never happen.
PC principle.
But this was in 2008. This is recent.
Wow.
But if you actually look at the shorts, you look at it and go, wow, wine on television is actually really boring, and I think we're doing a better job of it. All right, cool. We're completely blind.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not completely blind. We're not like Big Blind Mike.
Stevie Wonder.
Oh, damn. Yeah, right. Okay.
It's
Okay.
a bomb.
Okay. This is OG.
I think people. What's that winery? It's not Molly Duca.
We had Molly Duca on here. We had Molly Duca on. I don't believe it's Molly Duca. No. Because there's straight away what's jumping out of the glass is it feels like it's got some age. It feels like this has got some decent bottle age on it. It's fantastic. Putting the comments down so I can't see Jack.
Shout out to the sock.
Shout out to the sock. What was the sock?
It's sushi socks.
This is
not a good wine pairing with this sushi.
This is gnarly. But I do feel that there are people indeed in this world, many of them that would have paired this with sushi. And I mean I'm not saying this wine suits sushi. It most definitely does not.
Masochistic individual.
I think that's
Oysters would be really good with this wine.
I do not believe oysters would be good with this wine. But I think some high-end restaurants, high-end restaurants in Asia have seen this wine paired with sushi before. This is amazing. This is OG. All right, we're playing
Yeah,
options.
so you're right with the age. So it does have some age.
It does have some
That's very good pickup.
I'm going to say it's New World.
Yeah, definitely New World. It looks actually a little bit developed, I thought. But
They said this about the style of wine where they talk about things like high oak use, either tannin additions and stuff, like high remontage, like high extraction, tends to have an issue called premox, premature oxidation. Perhaps this has got a little bit of it. It feels like it's got some age. It feels in that sort of 96y, 98 territory. That's what it feels like.
It could do some time in the Big Eve decanter.
But I tell you what, man, the amount of oak on this.
Yeah.
This is pretty liberal.
It's a bomb. There's a tree or 5.
There's only straight away based on the facts, and this is the thing. So you talk about how you were when you said that CSI sort of detective thing.
Yeah,
For me, it's more like a lawyer. I'm like, based prima facie on the facts. We have an extracted red that's seen a degree of premature oxidation with a fair degree of oak use. We know it's New World. We know it's Aussie. We know it's South Aussie. We know that it's going to be one of the classics, one of the OG classics. I feel this could be. I mean, and therefore actually very much narrows the selection. How am I going?
Very good.
Okay.
No, I concur.
Okay.
With the lawyer.
And therefore, like, really, we're talking about a tiny handful of key producers that have been around this long.
Let's get
to
the
be up forward.
Langtons shot out.
Yeah.
Is it noon?
Is it? I don't think it's noon.
No.
Nah, and I haven't tasted it yet.
Yeah. Yeah, very, very good. Should we do variety? Do you want to do variety, or do you want to have a stab? Or?
I reckon I could have a stab.
Yeah, have a stab.
I can stab, but can I have one question?
Yeah.
Is it a blend or a straight variety?
Oh, they have been known to put other things in it.
Fuck's sake. You've literally, I bet this could only be one of like 4 wines that I've ever tried.
So
This is premature. Like, it doesn't even taste how it smells. So I'm going to say this is closer to 2003, 2004.
Okay.
And it's Penfolds, for sure. Like, it's such an indicative flavour. You can just taste it, and it's the supreme balance of extract with lower acidity.
Is that supreme?
Yeah. What was the last time you were just gonna have a shot? What do you call it? You're just gonna jump in and
Power move.
power move.
Power move.
I'm big on the power moves. Hamish and Andy, if you want.
No, that's where it came from.
Yeah,
Do you know
so
what was
good.
the best power move ever?
I've been saying one to Amanda. She doesn't even know this. So when she cleans the kitchen, I go, "I like the new you."
Jesus. No, I think
She has no idea. She's like, "Thanks."
I like the best power move I've ever heard of. It was on Hamish and Andy, and it was I was like, when you're waiting to pay for your coffee, and you're standing in line, and you turn around to the people behind you, and you ask for an extra $1, and then you grab the $1 off, and then you put it in the charity box.
I always do.
Kills me.
I always do this one because we're at the Cube. It was like multi-level. So if you have a meeting, you see them coming down the stairs. You'd open the door and they'd have to run up, and then they'd buy a gin or like, and like sit down, like power move. That's what they look like. Yeah. So you're on the path.
This vexes me because I'm actually going even younger. I said 96, 98, and then I said 03, 04. I think I'm keep going younger and younger. This is like 12, 13 actually, and this is just seen some premature ox. I think
you're probably in the.
It's just the tannin on it.
Halfway there.
So full.
Yeah.
So full. Well, if they've no.
I've given a clue to a wine geek. Yeah.
It's
Unless it was Connor, the Canberra wine, because I put Fiend in.
Fun to kill it. No. It was more about ascertaining whether or not this was Grange or not.
Yeah.
Is it from a single region?
Could be. No.
Sorry.
Have we just dropped out? No, we're not. No, we're good.
Yeah, so yeah, you're on the path. Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah. Just do your power move.
Is this Grange?
Mm-hmm.
Bullshit.
Yeah, it's Grange. What year again?
I said 2003.
Oh, no, that's a bad vintage. 08 Grange. We thought we'd...
Jesus fucking Christ.
thought we'd bring some big brand energy to the
Hit
show.
the button. Hit the button.
Just like how well the reveal worked.
Do we have a button?
Well, I think we definitely need to hit the button because that is the big label energy. I reckon that's sort of big. Oh man, that's gnarly. That is gnarly.
Yeah, look.
And well, 2008, hot year.
Well,
very warm year.
yeah,
Great
this-
ripeness.
This was the last vintage that when I worked at McGrill. So it was 2011 would have been current release 08, and it got 100 points in the media. So
this is a Hunji.
100 point.
Oh, this is really topical because there's another wine that recently got a Hunji.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
No. I gave it 100 points. Obviously, there's been a famous race between this and there are a handful of iconics in this category.
15, I think.
It's a 15,
Yeah,
and it's the
that's
current
good.
release. It's the most recent release.
Good.
Got 100 points, and a lot of people are talking about it. So what's the impetus? When a wine reached? You worked for this place.
Yeah.
When they got the 100 points,
Yeah.
what happened?
Oh,
Everyone freaking wanted
You
one.
sell more. Cellador does good figures.
Was there a restriction on the amount that people could buy?
No, I don't think. Very small production. So no restrictions.
No restrictions. Yeah, wow.
Nah,
it's an amazingly pieced together wine.
So this year, I remember they decided they were going to lift the price from, I think it was like 600 to 800 a bottle. So it's crazy money. I saved like a year's wine points, and I think I still had to pay like 200. So they don't just hand it out.
So I like this because we're gonna do like a big label energy award, and we're gonna actually do like all of the reveals. I think of everyone that has actually earned the big label energy award. I think people are gonna really be pushing shit uphill trying to compete with this.
It's just, yeah, it's a lot of money. Like, it's worth trying. The old Granges are pretty fucking good. Yeah, some of the best wines, but you need age on them.
I'm just going to acknowledge that basically the comments were like, people were commenting and they were, as soon as Noah put up, got a different kind of BLE 2008 Grange, just everything, just incredible. But it is one of those things like this wine, it's one of the most awarded wines in Australian history. And they stopped putting it into the award show. And it's a little bit like, because to be honest, the only thing that actually tore me away from saying that this was actually Clare Valley and Wendouree from an amazing vintage was the fact that it didn't have the sort of herbaceous stemminess that Wendouree has, and it has the overt amount of oak.
Yeah, the US oak's pretty.
Like, it's coconutty.
Yeah.
And it's not a bad thing. Like, this is the other thing, like Penfolds, be they a very large company, and Grange, be it a multi-regional blend, typically is Shiraz, but it has sometimes in years like 2011, where it was contentious that it got released in a very, very tough vintage, utilised other grape varieties within the cepage, the blend, the mixture. Yeah. But it is, and there's a couple of things here that, from like a marketing perspective, I love this wine. Because if they're not going to ask the dollars, and they do so successfully, mind you, then who else is? Yeah. And in reality, like, how does that compare to prices of wine internationally of the top tier from their respective countries?
Yeah, well, I used to tell people, if you look at Bordeaux and some of the,
even Vega Sicilia, a different kind of Unico.
Like the volume produced, like, sure, they make quite a bit of that, but these other brands make 3 times as many bottles and charge more. So if you look at it that way, it's pretty good value. It's an expensive wine, don't get me wrong. The philosophy was always use the best grapes from anywhere with that, and plonking into American oak. So
Which means that guaranteed every single year you're going to actually get the best the year can possibly offer.
yeah. I no longer work for them, so I'm not gonna not getting paid any money.
No. That's for sure, and nor do I. But
Yeah.
I do. It is one of those things when you look at these particular the wineries, and like we love to give big wineries a little bit of shtick, typically because they're no longer owned by Australians, but also because you know it is incredible to see like there's a remarkable level of history and heritage, and there's a fine line between replication and reverence when you're talking about making new world wines or new, you know, contemporary levels of wine. Where we talk about the basket range and the cool kids and the natural wines and stuff like this. You know, it's such a massive departure from what the history is. Are we making our own history again, or are we, you know, are we going to be able to find a way to reconcile with what our history actually was? And a lot of these vines are quite old still. I mean, it's not like it's not like they're shoving crap wine in a bottle and then asking a lot of money for it. Like there's still a lot of thought that goes into these particular wines.
People might not know this, but they actually blend Cabernet in this wine. Not every year. There are years where it's 100%. But there's some of the oldest Cabernet vines in the world.
So Terry, it's just Terry. So I can be there in an hour. Google tells me I can be there in 42 minutes. JJP, nothing. Love the sushi sock, guys. Power move for sure. Video stopped. Change camera battery. Stop everything. I want to see the power move. This is fantastic. Pulling grains from a sock is its own power move. That is the biggest of Big Label energy. Yes, it is. It is pretty much the biggest of Big Label energy from Australia. And like, what other wines would exist in this category?
From Australia? Or?
Yeah, from Australia.
Oh, Hill of Grace, so Henschke's Hill of Grace. So very, very different concept where that's a single vineyard wine. Hill of Grace in the Eden Valley, perched on a little hill with a little church next to it, so that's why it's called the Hill of Grace. So very vintage dependent there. Obviously, single vineyard, you've only got that one block of fruit. If it's hot, cold, rain, hail or shine, that's all they're playing with. Where Grange is multi-regional, so they're actually going anywhere in South Australia. You know, they even get fruit from Bordertown, McLaren Vale, Bordertown. Yeah.
Wow.
Barossa is a big component. Oliver's Taranga actually got a fair bit goes in. Nice. If you were to Google,
they're one of the top growers, I believe. Oliver's Taranga.
They're really
the Wright family. Well,
really,
Oliver's
I think every year it goes in now. There are some years like I remember '91 because that was 50 McLaren, 50 Barossa. But I don't know if you Google that. I think it's Coonawarra, Barossa, McLaren, and then a small amount of Cabernet. So,
do you know the thing about Big Label energy?
Yeah.
I mean, if it has enough energy, I feel really bad if we open anything else. But can I do something cheeky?
Yeah.
Can I get a little bit more?
Yeah, of course.
Because I've always wanted to do something. Because we always talk about how American.
Tim Tams coming?
No. We don't have Tim Tams coming. Because mate. Because one of those uses of American oak, and of course tonight is junk food wine night. So we do have a junk food wine pairing. Which we have a myriad, but we were going to do something different, but I feel this is only appropriate.
Oh, I love Bounty!
I feel like I want to go down saying that on this show, once upon a time, Josh opened up a bottle of Grange and I was kind enough to share a Bounty bar with him as a matching.
I love Bounty. It's in my top 3.
There you go. This is a split pack, so it's a 2-4.
Mate.
So because it is, so appropriate and social distancing.
Okay, that is food and wine match of the year.
I reckon this has big junk food energy right here.
Damn, son.
Alright guys, feast your eyes on that. It's just too good.
We always would have pizza after work and drink Grange, so we get home like 2 a.m, get like a shitty pizza and then drink Grange, and then you just get really lit and drink grandfather port.
Like Stephen Harris Bounty with a 12-year-old Grange. You are a legend.
I'm gonna go work with you.
We're gonna have legendary status. Because we used to be really good friends. Like,
that's pretty good.
It actually works pretty well.
Yeah.
Like, if you've blown the budget and you're not out dining and you're forcing us and you've got some of these Bounty bars. I mean, I can't speak to the nutritional value of this, nor of Grange. I do think there's going to be a fair degree of lignin in it that's going to assist your fibre requirements. But
However. Oh shit.
So would you say chicken crimpies would go really well with this?
No. Just anything else. That's really good. I just bought them for everyone.
Next show.
All right.
How good are crimpy?
So it's not fair though. We have 10 minutes
Ah, that's damn good.
on the back wall.
Oh shit.
You know
We
how
have to
this
do a
goes.
power move.
You know how this goes. We have 10 minutes. It would be remiss of me if you brought a wine of this caliber.
Do I go to a special room with like blind wine?
No, you really don't. But
There's some epic shit
we
up
have
here.
something to show our gratitude.
Let Miller pick it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Miller, what do you want to pick?
She's a bird now.
We have a 2010 Grange stashed away in Wifey's Hyde wine from Terry Place. That must be a very hidden place. Getting open 10, 10, 20 at 10, 10 for our 10th anniversary, that's actually pretty amazing. That's like, that really satisfies the nerd in me. That's already an open bottle. Josh, I'd still go with a very plain pizza. I think just a bit of carbs. I think just a bit of carbs works really well with this. And most wine in general. Oh man, this is going to be pro place. We're going to actually, you're going to have to like sign it.
Whatever.
Oh my god, doggy is adorable. Yes.
Diego comes on the show.
Yeah. I didn't make it.
Well, Pete Gago is going to come on the show apparently.
Marketing will allow that.
Son of Todd drinks, mate. Jay, love a good crimpy.
Yeah,
Mate,
crimpy.
seriously,
Yeah, boss.
seriously.
We need to do like a dish in a restaurant. It's like a crimpy.
Without the old school, there will be no new school. That's very, very, very true.
Yeah, and that's why they can charge.
Maybe the new school is the new old
history.
school.
You're selling the history.
Unicozzo Grange is released 5 years old, 2011. You'll be looking at 2006. Yep, Grange production's around 6,000 to 8,000 cases, depending on the vintage. Pete Gago told us this at the Western Diploma Masterclass we did at McGill Estate.
And you believe that?
So, how many cases of Hill of Grace are made every year?
Oh,
Do we have a ballpark?
They wouldn't. They wouldn't tell you. You could do the math if you knew the hectares, I guess, and you knew how to.
Oh, 1 second.
You guys give it
Yeah.
a raise.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. You used to work there, didn't you? Yeah.
6 ton.
Okay.
6 ton is about, let's say 5,000 bottles.
I did this dinner years ago.
So about 12 times less Hill of Grace is made then.
Yeah, so value it. I did this dinner.
Maybe a bit of a rinsey on it. Do you want to rinse on your just to keep isolated?
James Halliday and IBM, and we opened 20 years of Hill of Grace and 20 years of Grange side by side, and all the Hill of Graces like in their youth just killed Penfolds. I think mainly because it's like fine French oak, and then as soon as they got old, Penfolds just came flying home. Like when you get in this, the 70s, especially 71, amazing. All right, what's this?
All right, what do we got?
Ooh, yeah, okay.
So it's sort of leesy.
Yeah, flinty, lazy. It's like,
Feels like Chardonnay on lees. Sort of young.
it's almost like orange blossom. I hate black glasses so much.
it's tough. It's
visual,
tough.
like-
It really does sort of muck with you.
Me
a
and my
little bit.
FBI, I can't see shit. My flashlight's broken.
Best pairing for the stump jump from Sarah Jane Fiend. Bounty bars.
Ooh.
SodaStream. I have SodaStream's Grange before,
Yeah.
and it will happen again. I'm not gonna do it on
Yeah,
the guest wine. I'm
we
sorry.
have
I'm gonna
actually,
supply that wine.
We made sparkling shit.
Bless the oak with the Bounty bar. Ha ha ha. Yep. All right. So rapid fire. It's white wine.
Yeah, it's definitely white.
White. Yes. New World, Old World.
I'd say new because it's very pronounced.
I'm with him. New as well. It's new. I don't know.
That's it? That's all we're gonna go?
Wait, it's
Any
like-
Other options like what are the? do you reckon? We're gonna
It's
pound
quite
it.
primary stone fruit, I feel. So, yeah, I think the Chardonnay card or like a cooler climate Rhone variety, like picked earlier Rhone maybe. Doesn't have oil like that oily thing, but if you pick it earlier, you can get around that. Maybe chuck some shit in.
I don't think a lot's been chucked into this.
Nah,
I'm surprised with the palate sweetness. It's got
Yeah,
ripeness, but
I'm
and it
gonna
was
say
like,
it's like Roussanne or something.
I was kind of like, yeah, looking at.
Yeah.
My initial reaction was like Chardonnay.
Yeah.
But Chardonnay that smells like this typically
Yeah, I
is
think
really
it's
lean,
got-
but this is quite
I think
ripe.
it's got like lingering alcohol, so I'm gonna say a Rhone.
I'm gonna say Viognier
Yeah, I'm gonna go Roussanne.
Alright, so.
from Australia.
Yeah.
Interesting.
From Australia.
So we're going Australia.
Yeah.
Are we going Victoria, Adelaide Hills, or Tasmania?
Oh, I think it's cool climate because if it's a Rhone and it's like that, it's cool. So there's nothing really planted down there in Tassie. You'd be wasting money to be planting Rhone varieties on.
Yeah, it's just gonna be
So
too
I'm
cold.
gonna say Adelaide
I'm
Hills.
gonna say Adelaide Hills.
Yeah.
It's Adelaide Hills.
Yeah.
We'll go variety.
Is it single?
It's a single variety.
Yeah.
100% single variety.
There's not a lot of Roussanne in the hills. Not a lot of Viognier in the hills. Could be
Alright,
shardy.
Some weird.
I just think it's a weird shardy.
Yeah, it is pretty weird. Reminds me of like Fanta.
It's been on lees. I don't think it's been in barrel for that long. I really think it could well be like a 2019, max 2018, age.
Yeah, like or like super work Chardonnay. I see like
Super worked.
Like-
I think actually I'm gonna go Gruner.
really.
I'm gonna go Gruner because it just for the lack of I'm still thinking textural, ripe Chardonnay, textural ripe grapes that have been worked.
Longview makes similar kind of
Style?
thing.
Yeah, I'm going Gruner. That's
Gruner.
my bet. It's like that's a good
Alright,
guess.
we'll go down to 3.
Yep.
You're on your Shardy Gruner.
Oh, Viognier came in.
Came in.
So
Yeah. I'm gonna go with. I'm going with the change. I'm going with Gruner.
I'm going Viognier because I said
It's gonna end up being Chardonnay.
Gruner.
Oh! And he tried to get me off it too. Oh, nice.
This guy.
This guy.
Killing
This
it.
guy.
How
I'm
mate?
just fueled by the oak.
I
From
need
Grange.
to do a podcast and drink some. Fuck, nice.
Do you guys have guess vintage?
Young.
18.
Young, 19.
Josh is on 19.
19, yeah.
You guys have a stable producer.
Longview.
Longview for Josh.
Yeah, I don't think it's craft.
I don't think it's craft
'Cause
either. I
theirs
think
tastes
they're
like
dainty.
Austrian Gruner.
They're dainty. I don't think it's
Yeah.
Catlin. I don't think it's Nova Vita. I think you're going with Longview. Did you say?
Yeah, because
I'm gonna go
theirs
with-
is a little bit funky and like they might chuck something else in.
I'm going with Guthrie.
Hugh Guthrie.
Yeah.
You're both wrong. It's this producer's first edition of this variety.
Oh, that's
And
exciting.
it's one of my favourite wines that's been released this year, hands down. It's BK Gruner.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, very nice.
So it's
very,
half-
very nice.
It's half oak and half ceramic egg.
Take back what I said, BK. Sorry about that.
That's fantastic. I love that.
Or
That's really
Viognier. Shit.
No, but it is really tough.
No,
I
it's-
actually would have gone straight to Chardonnay. I would
Yeah,
have gone
I
straight to
see
Chardonnay.
that. It's got that leanness about it. Had
It's
this
just
real blossom character that.
Gruner seems to pick up on lees really well, and of course this is done in ovum, so I believe this is actually done in the egg, so it's got a very large amount of lees contact, and so that tends to lend a little bit more leanness
Wow.
to it.
It's
Very cool wine.
Super cool.
Very cool wine.
Very cool.
Mate,
Get on
we're gonna have to get back to all the comments that have literally come through because burnt cookies and Grange. Terry, you needed to leave your house ages ago. You're gonna completely miss
Let's
out.
do it.
Totally agree with that point, Josh. I did a similar tasting in London with a younger Hill of Grace was awesome. Older Grange was next level. I think that's one of those things. A lot of wine they really have it down to like a fine art of figuring out when their drinking window is with these. Most of the Gruner I've had is quite acidic, but it seems that this is definitely not. What has been done?
That's why I thought it was a Rhone variety.
Yeah, because I think it's quite ripe. 13.6%. So that is quite ripe for Gruner, just in general. And I think there's a fair degree of lees contact to it. Pretty cool wine, pretty fun wine, pretty tasty
Yeah,
wine
that's
actually. Like I drink a fair amount of it.
Yeah.
and especially with like, this is in that realm, you know how we were matching things like nacho cheese Doritos, nacho cheese shapes. This is in that sort of realm, like if you are thinking of, totally, well, because we know, not a bad wine for, just pour them out on the table, mate. For the old chicken crimpy as well. Reminds you of Fanta, I want one. How good's Fanta? And on this note, we're going to be tucking in to the good old chicken crimpy and Gruner. But we are going to, obviously we've got Henry chiming in this evening as well. So we're going to be jumping straight across to him. Guys, thank you so much. Josh, thank you for winning the Big Label Energy Award so far. For the year, I'm not sure. There needs to be like for the year or for the top 100 or first 100 or first 50 or something like that. For the day, he well and truly wins it.
I'll give you
and I'm going to say so far, absolutely.
Can I just give the viewers a tip? So I want you to go and buy a packet of these tonight, and I want you to get a whole chicken crimpy and sit it in your mouth and dissolve all the MSG, and then buy it further.
Perfect way to finish, guys. Enjoy the weekend. See you same time tomorrow. We've got an amazing lineup of Barolo and Barbaresco for you tomorrow. Catch you soon.